Hello there, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me. Today let's take a look at the Louis Vuitton Women's Pre-Fall 2023 collection, or the collection that has been called on social media the Monoglam collection. I've seen a lot of this about and it's very interesting. I do think there's something about it that is quite attention grabbing. I like the sheen. If you look at these pieces and you've seen them on social media, whenever they hold them up and they kind of move the bag, you can see the light catching across it, and when it catches across it, it almost has an iridescence across it, and the background changes to different colours. So if you're looking at one of the pieces that is, say, the blue Monoglam, whenever it's turned around, you'll see all of the colours reflecting off it, and it looks pretty fabulous. I'm on the website at the minute and I'm taking a look at what is open for pre-order on the Louis Vuitton website. One of the pieces that isn't open that I can't see on this is the trunk, and I will find a picture and put it in, and I'll credit whoever I get it from in the description box. And it's like the square box trunk with the handle, and this comes in the blue version of this Monoglam. I think this is absolutely stunning. Now, I do think it's quite a collector's piece. I don't know if it's a piece that you would wear very often or wear as a daily bag, but I think it's stunning. I think as a little clutch type carrying trunk, it's fabulous. The colours on it, the blue in the background of the monogram, the sheen on it, the blue leather trim, the handle. This for me is my standout piece of this collection. I was blown away when I seen this. I think it's absolutely stunning. The only problem is I understand it's somewhere around 7,500 or 7,800 pounds sterling. So it is a very expensive piece, but I think it's a statement. Imagine putting an outfit together. Even this is a Lily silk shirt, which I adore. It has a blue stripe through it. Imagine that trunk in your hand, catching the blue in this stripe. Whatever you put together, this trunk is going to stand out. It's going to be fabulous. It's going to be a statement. It's going to add to that outfit, and I'm obsessing on it. I think it's absolutely beautiful. I don't think the price is absolutely beautiful. I knew as soon as I saw this it was going to be quite expensive because it's a trunk. But for me, right off the bat, this is the standout piece, and I think it's absolutely stunning. Next, let's take a look at the side trunk in this, and this is £2,820, and again this is in the blue Monoglam. I really like this, but I don't think it's the one for me. I've said all along that I'm getting more and more intrigued by the side trunk. I think it's a fab bag. I really like it. I think there's something different about it. I like the slouch. I think there will be a version of this comes out that I really struggle to resist. I think that there is a side trunk in my future somewhere whenever a version comes out that just grabs me. I don't think it's this one, if I'm honest. I don't know if it's because I love the trunk version so much that I kind of feel like the side trunk would be me not affording to pay for or spend the money on the actual trunk and going for the side trunk instead. So I don't think this is the one for me. Also, I'm not a huge blue lover. Like, if you look, a lot of my collection and bags wouldn't be blue based. So that's not the type of colour I buy that much. So there's just something that I think this isn't the one. I do really love the side trunk, and I do think it's a beautiful version of it. Again, it has that sheen, and I really like the gold hardware with it. I have to say, on the side trunk, personal preference, I probably prefer the gold hardware to the silver. So I do love that it's gold hardware. I just don't know if this is the version that's going to make me pull the trigger, although it's definitely interesting and I do really like it. It's one I would love to see in person. It may be even better in person, but I'm just not 100% there at the minute. Next, if we look at the Speedy bandolier in the 20 size, this is cool. This is also in the blue version of this Monoglam, and I have seen videos of this where they move it and the shine catches and you get all of the colours on it. This is really cool. I really like this. This is £1,640. As per Louis Vuitton prices, I don't actually think that's that bad. I think it's for a limited edition piece, for a piece that's out of this collection. I actually think that's probably okay as per their pricing, as per luxury pricing. I think this is really good. I also like the blue trim on it. I like the blue leather. I like the gold hardware. I am on the lookout for a Speedy B20. I've said this in other videos. The one that comes into my mind if I could design my own is the Patches collection, if anybody remembers it. It was the brown monogram, but it had a heart on it and an LV and a different patches sewn on. They look like old school patches that you would get for your children. I think it's really cool, but obviously it's never been made. That's in my head, something like that. I don't think this is the version that's going to make me buy the Speedy 20 either, but I do think this is a really cool version of this bag, and I think if anybody's looking at this, I think it's pretty cool. Next, let's take a look at the Neverfull MM in this tote bag. I personally, and this is just personal choice, I adore the Neverfull in the traditional monogram. And this is beautiful. If you're a blue person, if you're somebody whose style and taste goes to blue colours, I think you'll probably love this. For me personally, I prefer it in the monogram. I also much prefer the GM to the MM. I just like the oversized look of it. So this one isn't for me, but I can see if you're someone who likes blue type colours and that works with your wardrobe, I do think this is a stunning bag. It's that same monoglam fabric. I do think it's stunning. I just don't think this one's for me. The MM in the Neverfull is 1,680. Again, with it being the monoglam and the prices as they are, that's probably okay. Next is the LV 20 bag. I don't love this. I think this is a bag I would probably need to see in person. I do like the thick black and gold chain that is attached to this bag. Apart from that, I don't really love it. It is a bag that has two sides to it, 20 being in the name, but it has the reverse monogram in the middle. I don't love reverse monogram, although I do like it on the loop hobo bag. I think this reminds me a little bit of the old bag. There used to be the two sides, I can't remember the name of it, but it was the two different pouches. I think this reminds me of that, only it's a lot more expensive. It also reminds me a little bit of the East-West Pochette metis. And I think personally, in my opinion, I prefer the East-West Pochette metis than I do to this LV 20 bag. I just like the aesthetic of it better. I like how it looks better. And I think if I was going to go for one of the two, because I do think they're similar, I think I would go for the East-West Pochette metis. Next is the Nano Speedy. This is beautiful. This is in the gold version of the monoglam. So it has what looks to be vachetta handles and strap, but then the actual bag is like a gold metallic. It kind of reminds me of the Chanel gold metallic bag back there. That's the Chanel rose gold bag that's quite famous and everybody went a bit crazy for. And it reminds me of that. I think you could use this Nano Speedy in the same type of way. I think it's really, really cute. I really like the gold in it. I think the fabric looks really well. I would like to see this in person. For me personally, I don't think I would buy this because I have that. And I think that the two of them would be quite similar to when you would use them. I think they would fill the same type of purpose. And I don't use gold enough to probably need both of them, because I know I've got 25 pink bags before anybody points it out. But I think this is pretty stunning. I think it's really, really nice. I will put it on the screen. I think this could be, if I saw this in person, I don't know if my resolve would hold not to add another gold bag. As a nano crossbody, it's detachable, it's really cute. This one I think is pretty stunning, and it's £1,320, and I know that's a lot of money, but as per Louis Vuitton prices, and for something that is not the traditional monogram, has a bit more to it, has this coating, has this gold to it, I think that's probably not bad as a price compared to what some items could be. I could have seen that going in a bit higher, even though it is the Nano Speedy, but because of the monoglam. They've also brought that gold out in the micro vanity bag charm. This is really cute. It's not for me because it's £665, or sorry, £655. I don't think I would get a lot of use out of this, but it's very, very cute. If you're somebody that likes to add bag charms to things, this little bit of gold is pretty stunning. I think it would be really, really nice against the monogram. But for me, at that price, $655, it's not something that I would be buying. I'm going to touch on this vintage monogram mini skirt. I know it's ready to wear and not bags, but I think it's cool. I really like the print of it. It's quite loud, I'm shocked, probably why I quite like it. Really like the print. I like the fact that it has the luggage tag on the skirt. I think this is really, really nice. I don't buy a lot of ready to wear. I don't really have the opportunity to wear a lot of ready-to-wear, but I really, really like that. It's £1,610. That's why I don't buy a lot of ready-to-wear. My finances are such that I don't know if I would comfortably, regardless of how much is in my bank, I don't know if I could spend £1,610 on a miniskirt. I don't know, but I love it. I absolutely love it. I would have to put it on and feel $1 million. I don't know about it, but I think it's really stunning. They have a t-shirt to match, which is £895. I think if you styled these two together in the way that you styled it, slightly untucked, the way you could put it together, I think this could look really, really good, but I appreciate it is a lot of money. Next, let's take a look at the Pochette Metis in the East-West. I really like this. I really, really like it. I like the shape of the East-West Pochette Metis anyway. I think it's a stunning bag. I love that you can take the crossbody strap off it. I love the gold chain that comes on it, but you can put it back on and wear it more casually. I think it's very usable. It's £2,230, but the Pochette Metis East-West, even in the monogram, is expensive and is over £2,000. So I suppose that price was probably to be expected. I think this is pretty cool. I think, again, if you're someone who likes blues and blue tones on your bags, I think this is really quite fab. I really like the gold against it. Again, am I going to buy this? I probably don't think so. I don't think I love blue enough for me to buy this. I haven't seen it in person. If I see it in person and the sheen, depending how much that changes in the colours, maybe. But it's not a definite, but I do think it's a very, very stunning bag. This is stunning. I've just came to the loop bag, which is this bag in the background here. I have the black denim version. This is the loop PM in the gold monogram. This is stunning. This bag, I think, is one of the highlights of this collection. I do like the Nano Speedy, as we've said. I do think that's something that I would consider. I think that has a different look to it. I think that gives you more options. I think when you take the strap off that is probably better if you're wanting to dress it up. I've worn that with my black leather jacket a bit without the strap, and I think it looks quite edgy as opposed to the Nano Speedy. This is another option. This is £1,870. I think this is fabulous. I think crossbody, I think on its own, I think night, I think day, I think this bag is a triumph. I can nearly speak. I think this bag's really beautiful, and this is one that's definitely caught my attention. I do have a loop bag though, but again, and I do have the rose gold that's sitting right beside it, but again, I think the loop in this gold version is very, very pretty. The musical Petite malle. I am a Petite malle lover. 1, 2 and 3 somewhere. They're something that I would have to be careful whenever they bring out limited editions in the Petite malle in colours or in fabrics or in prints that I would be drawn to. This one I like, but I don't like enough to be considering buying, probably because I'm not a very musical person, so I don't have any affinity to or attachment to the musical notes. Also, black and white, probably not my favourite colour combination. You can see poking out over in the side here, I have the black and white Chanel tweed that has the Chanel fabric ribbon running through it, and I love that bag as a black and white bag. I don't know if I need another black and white. Anytime that I'm putting black and white with something, that's what I go to, and I think that for me is probably the one. I don't think I have enough of a need for another black and white. I don't think I love this enough to consider the £4,300 that it is, and that's someone who really loves Petite malle. I think what it is also though is just not having that connection to musical notes. If it was something else, like Shih Tzus all over it, I would probably be done for. But no, I think that one, I think it's interesting. I think it's quirky. I think it's a collector's piece. I think if you have an attachment to music, yeah, really beautiful bag, but that one's not for me. The Dauphine East-West bag. They've brought this out in the gold colour line, but it's leather, and it's perforated leather. I don't love it, if I'm honest. I don't really like the cream colour of the leather. I don't really love the shape of the Dauphine in the East-West. I prefer the Pochette Metis in this colourway, or in this shape, sorry. It's £3,150. It's very expensive. This one is not one of my favourites, if I'm honest. I think if you're a neutral lover or you love creams and those sorts of colours, this will probably appeal to you a lot more than it does to me, but this is not one of my favourites. They also have the Petite Noe bucket bag, also in that perforated cream leather colour. Again, not one of my favourites, but then a bucket bag isn't my favourite, doesn't really work for me. This colourway wouldn't be my favourite. Creams aren't my favourites and this style, so no, that's probably another one that isn't one of my favourites. It's £2,550. If you love the bucket bag shape, this probably will speak to you differently, but for me, not one of my favourites. What I do like talking about bucket bags though, is I like this Nano Noe bag. This is £1,550 and it's in this kind of orangey yellow colour. I'd need to see this up close because I don't know what this colour would translate to in actual real life. It might be a bit, but on the website, it's piqued me. I do like it. I don't think I would like it enough to buy it because I've kind of learnt a lesson with bucket bags, but I do think this is quirky and cool. I like the perforated leather in it. I think it works well in the small size. Interesting. The micro vanity bag in the gold, Monogram, 1,370. If you were looking at that bag charm that we looked at earlier, this is a better buy. I think it's a bit more usable. For me, still though, as a micro vanity bag, I'm not getting the use out of this for 1,370. I do think it's stunning. If you're somebody that can carry a very small bag, doesn't need to put much in, or has the funds for not needing to be very usable, I do think this is stunning. I think it's a very, very cute little micro vanity, and in that gold, it's a beautiful, beautiful piece. I just don't think I could justify the cost of it and what use I would get from it. Then this one is surprising. This is the Alma BB. I have said before in many videos that I am not a lover of the Alma. It's not my favourite shape. It's not a shape that I would go for in Louis Vuitton. I really like it in this one though. Not enough to eat my words, I don't think I'll buy it, but as a version of the Alma in this pink leather with the perforated leather, I think it's beautiful. I really, really like it. I love the colour. I love the perforated leather. I love the stitching around the fleur-de-lis in it. £2,180, so it is expensive for an Alma. A lot of them you can get in the canvas. The Damier Ebene as well, that's a bit more affordable than this, but it is a leather bag and that's why it's pushed it up to 2,180. I really like that version. And that is, as I say, as somebody who's not a lover of the Alma bag. Another one that I haven't seen on the website yet, and I'll find a picture and put it in, is the Capucines BB, the size of my Arty Capucines back here. They've also brought that out in the musical notes. I think that's quirky. I think there's something about that that's quite edgy. I really, really like it. Again, not something I would buy because I don't have that affinity to musical notes, and black and white, I don't think it's something that I don't think I'm going to lift it. I can't work my finger. I don't think I'm going to lift it instead of lifting that one. I think that'll be the one that I go to over the black and white, say, musical notes. But I do think it's a very beautiful bag, and I do think it makes it very quirky with the musical notes on it. One thing I'll say about the Capucines BB, some of them can look quite formal and can look quite elegant. I talked about that in a recent video. So I really love whenever they put something on them that make them a bit more fun and make them a bit more, I don't know, something different about them. For me personally, that's because I'm not a very elegant person and I'm not somebody that uses a lot of very neutral and probably beautifully aesthetically elegant type bags wouldn't be my go-to. So I like when they add something quirky. A lot of people won't like that and will think they've destroyed the bag by sticking on musical notes. I think it's really cool. I think it's quirky. Again, with the musical notes, not for me. But again, I think it's something, if you're interested in that, have an affinity to it, it's worth looking at. I think it makes the bag very, very beautiful. Those are my thoughts on the new Louis Vuitton Monogram collection. A quick run through of what's available. Mainly the bags. If we were to look at everything, we'd be here for quite a while. Mainly the bags, because that's what we talk a lot about on this channel. I hope you've enjoyed this. Is there anything in this collection that you've ordered, that you're pre-ordering, that you can't wait to get, that you love? Is there anything that you hate? Is there anything that you can't even believe they brought out? Come into the comment box and let me know what you're thinking about it. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this collection. Thank you so much for joining me. If you have enjoyed this in any way, please do consider giving it a thumbs up. Please do consider subscribing, and if you're not done with me yet, I'm going to leave another video on the screen. Thank you so much for being here. Please take care, and I will see you again in the next one.